Kevin, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
No complaints. How do you think, or what is the key to starting the season off well as an individual?
Uh, I think just having confidence in your game and yourself. But also, I think you can't really focus on what you're gonna do personally. I think if you stick with the systems that the coaches preach, and you just go out there and play as hard as you can, I think the puck's gonna come to you. I think if you get too caught up in trying to score and get points for yourself, I think that kind of steers you away from your true game and can kind of complicate things for you. So if you just want to go out there, keep things simple, especially after not playing for 9 months. I mean, it's tough to get back into it. So I think just by keeping things simple, you'll be able to get back into the game quicker than you would expect.
Chris Foster's.
Hey, Kevin, appreciate the time. Just wondering if you could take us through your off season briefly, where you lived and how you trained and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Penfield, New York, and there's actually a rink I grew up playing at. It's about 5 minutes from my house, and they just a couple of years ago recently added a gym. It's called Next Level Strength Conditioning. I actually work out there with former Penn State player Nate Cease. So obviously after the season ended, I took a couple months off due to like COVID and stuff like that. And then once the gym started opening back up, it's kind of like the same thing every year. We train about 4 days a week, skate about 3 days a week. And it's just a ton of hockey workouts that we do here at Penn State as well. And then obviously the nutrition part, I've been working a lot with a nutritionist back home, and I think that has definitely helped a ton. So yeah, there's nothing that's really changed in my routine in the off season. I try to stick to the same things, and if I see something that's not working, then obviously make some adjustments to that. But so far, it's been really good.
Jake Starr.
Kevin, talk to me a little bit about how just the first road trip is going for the team. What's different traveling in COVID times versus in regular times, and how nice has it been to finally get to be with your full team?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, we kind of worked our way up to practicing as one team. Actually, a couple of us have been in different locker rooms just to kind of space ourselves out, but it's definitely different. I mean, but with everything aside, it's just so much fun being able to be back with the team and just playing hockey. I mean, it's what we love to do, and it's just being able to travel with the team. I think it's something that brings the team closer together. Being in the hotel with each other, being able to hang out, and kind of getting away from your own campus and not being able to see the guys as much as you'd like. As for the COVID travel, we were still able to fly, but obviously masks for the whole trip. And then we took 2 buses from Minnesota to Wisconsin. Again, wear your masks and everyone's spread out. But I think even with that, it sucks, but you gotta do to play games. And I think that's what everyone wants to do. And the goal is to get to the Frozen Four. So we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that happens.
Connor Donahue.
Hey, Kevin. With a lot of younger pieces playing their first collegiate games this past weekend, what did you make of the freshmen and how they played?
I thought they did a great job. I mean, I just spoke to a couple of them before and just seeing where their heads were at before the game. A couple of them said they were nervous, and I remember my first game, I was in the same boat as them. So, but I think no, all in all, they did a really good job. I mean, yeah, they just played the system well, and it was really excited that Sarlo got to get his first goal there. That's big, getting it out of the way early. So I think that definitely takes some nerves off of him. Yeah, I mean, Chase McLean did a lot on the PK for us, taking draws. And I think all of them have some pretty big roles this year. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do the rest of the season.
Kyle Canillo.
Hey, Kevin, just wanted to talk about a little bit about Wisconsin, previewing them a little bit. They're a really talented roster, lots of firepower up front with Caulfield and Holloway. How is Penn State preparing for them? What do you know about them? Do you have any buddies on the team? Just talk a little bit about what's next for Penn State.
Yeah, so I think coming off of the 2 losses in Minnesota, I think we definitely improved our game in the second game. And I think just really going into any team, obviously you hear about other guys like Cole Caulfield and Dylan Holloway, but you don't focus on that as much. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe Caulfield on the power play, but It's really just what systems they play and how we can get chances off of their systems. We watch a lot of film on the teams that we play. So I think, just looking off of that and focusing on our own systems, that's really what we truly worry about. We don't worry too much about certain players because, hockey is a team sport. So not really worried about certain guys as much as the whole team as a unit.
Ben Jones?
Kevin, how long did it take you to feel comfortable in the system last year? And what do you take from that experience to kind of feed off to other guys that are trying to get, all on the same page rather quickly?
Yeah, so I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's, studying the playbook as much as you can in your free time, and just asking questions is big. I know last year, sometimes I didn't ask questions and I regretted it, but then, there's just, especially the leadership we had last year, ask any guy, like they're not going to make fun of you or anything terrible like that. If you have a question, they love when guys have questions and they can help you out because we're all have the same goal and we're all trying to be the best team that we can be. And I think a couple of us this year we took the initiative of starting out with that and telling the freshmen, hey, if you have a question, like, don't be afraid to come talk to us. It's not easy. We know that. So I think just being there for them and letting them know that, like, you're going to have their back and you can help them with anything that they need help with is just big. And I think that, especially from being a freshman last year, just knowing that they're there for you it makes you feel really comfortable and it makes you fit into the room a lot well.
Chris Vosters?
Hey, got another one for you, Kevin. Saw that your brother plays lacrosse in college and your parents were also college athletes. So sounds like you come from a diverse athletic background. I was wondering what other sports you played growing up and how ultimately hockey became your favorite.
Yeah, so it was actually pretty funny. I actually started out playing lacrosse, and my brother was the hockey player. And then I remember going to a couple of his games, and I just fell in love with it. So we kind of switched roles. But, yeah, I played lacrosse up until my senior year of high school. So I loved that as well, and just having something to do in the off season with hockey to stay in shape and stuff. And also, like I said, I love the game, and my brother ended up taking that route and I took hockey. So we just kind of trade paths there.
Acacia Broder?
Hey Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have a mentor this year? Are you mentoring any of the freshmen or any of the new guys?
I am not, no.
You're not? Okay, great.
Any other questions for Kevin? Just raise your hand and we'll unmute you and have you ask. Go ahead, Chris.
Kevin, just a real quick about the quick turnaround in this series, and with the compressed schedule as a whole, are you doing anything different as far as recovery with that shorter turnaround? And I guess, what do you think of it in general?
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation. I think it's a lot of games in a short amount of time, but like I said earlier, I think it's what we've been working for, especially during these times right now. We knew it wasn't going to be a normal year. So we're just happy to be able to play. As far as recovery goes, not much changes. I'm a pretty superstitious person, so I like to stick to my same routines. But here and there, you try and get as much sleep as you can and hydrate and get as much food in your system. But yeah, just maybe some stretches here and there after practice more than usual. Going to the trainer's room, just trying to do as much as you can to make sure your body's ready, because if your body's not ready for games, you're not going to be able to be ready. So I think recovery is a huge part of hockey, and I think it's a pretty serious part that you got to take into consideration for your game.
Ben Jones?
Kind of piggybacking off of that, you've got 6 periods between tomorrow and when the series is done. Which one of those do you think is the one where you start to feel 4 games in 6 days?
Feeling it right now, honestly, after the 2 games. But no, I think even after just one game one night, your body feels it pretty hard, especially taking out all the hits and everything. And then once the adrenaline comes down, you start to feel everything that you did during the game. Yeah, like I said, Justin Rogers does an incredible job of making sure we're all ready to go. And I think yeah, the body's definitely going to be hurting on the way home after Tuesday night's game, but it's just, like I said, it's all about recovery. I mean, if you don't do a good job of it, you're really going to hurt more than you should. If you do a good job, you're going to recover a lot faster. So I think that's very important.
Acacia Broder?
I know you just touched on how you're a little bit superstitious, if I heard that correctly. So do you have any pregame rituals that are really important to you that you do before every game without fail, or anything that's like even down to the littlest thing, like putting on one skate before the other?
Yeah, I actually have a lot. So actually, me and Connor McEachran, we actually play 2 to 3 games of NHL on the PS4 before every game, and then I always walk over to the rink with Tyler Gratton, Connor McMenamin, and Connor McEachran. And then as far as getting dressed, right skate, right shin guard, right elbow pad, right glove. Always tape my sticks before warm-ups, and then yeah, that's usually about it. Same pregame music, everything. Unless I play bad and then I switch it up, but that's about it.
All right. Kevin, appreciate the time. Good luck against Wisconsin.